It was November 14, 1995. The city of Beijing was cold, isolated, and buried under a heavy downpour. The last vehicle on Route 375 is making its final run, a scheduled 16-kilometer trip toward Fragrant Hills. The passenger manifest includes a driver, a conductor, an elderly woman, a young man, and a couple. This was a routine scheduled route. The mundane nature of the trip is what makes the forensic details found later so difficult for investigators to rationalize. Somewhere along that final stretch, the bus vanished. There was no distress call, no wreckage, and no trace along the route. Days later, the bus was located. It was found submerged in a river 100 kilometers away from its intended destination. This map shows the bus was fueled for a standard 16-kilometer loop, but it ended up 100 kilometers away, an impossible distance. Despite this, it failed to trigger a single CCTV camera on any logical road connecting the locations. When police opened the fuel tank, they didn't find diesel. They found it filled with massive quantities of fresh blood. This left investigators with a crime scene that mechanical engineering and forensic science could not explain. To understand how the bus reached that river, we have to look at the official police reports filed by the only two people who survived. According to their statements, the driver made an unscheduled stop in a dark, off-route area to pick up 3 figures waiting by the roadside. The survivors noted that these men wore traditional Qing dynasty robes, emitted a foul odor, and propped up an unconscious third man between them. When the wind blew, the elderly woman noticed that the figures' robes were floating slightly above the floor. They appeared to have no legs. She immediately fabricated a loud argument with the young man, accusing him of stealing her purse, until the conductor was forced to kick them both off the bus. By causing a public disturbance, she executed an escape from the vehicle before it reached its final destination. Police initially dismissed these reports as delusional until the bus was actually pulled from the river. 5 bodies were recovered from the submerged wreckage. The driver and conductor showed standard signs of recent drowning. However, the 3 mysterious passengers were in a state of advanced decomposition, suggesting they had been dead for years, not days. The biological evidence directly contradicted the timeline of the accident, leaving the investigation at a standstill. When the details of the blood in the tank and the rotting bodies reached the public, the story dominated the local news. For years after the event, night bus ridership plummeted across the region as commuters avoided the route after dark. These unsolved forensic details successfully rewired the public transit habits of a massive population. Either the physical evidence is proof of the paranormal, or this was a crime staged with enough precision to leave forensic science without an answer. Whether the threat was supernatural or a calculated trap, the lesson remains the same. If an elder tells you to get off the bus, get off the bus.